For decades, the phrase U.S. tech industry was basically shorthand for one place, Silicon Valley. The land of startups, venture capital, and billion-dollar ideas born in garages. But here's the thing. In 2025, that story is changing fast because the new tech boom sweeping across America is no longer confined to a few square miles in Northern California. It's breaking away, spreading across cities, regions, and industries that once had nothing to do with the traditional Valley ecosystem. So what's driving this quiet revolution? And why are so many tech companies, from AI firms to chip makers, suddenly leaving the Bay Area behind? Let's start with the big picture. Silicon Valley's dominance came from one simple formula: talent, capital, and culture. It had the universities, the investors, the engineers, and the dreamers all packed into one tight ecosystem. If you wanted to build the next Apple or Google, that's where you went. But the world and the economy have changed. The pandemic proved that innovation doesn't require a headquarters. Remote work became normal, cloud infrastructure made collaboration global, and companies realized they could build world-class teams without paying Silicon Valley rents. And that's when the exodus began. Austin, Miami, Denver, Atlanta, Raleigh, Salt Lake City. Even smaller cities like Boise and Tulsa are seeing a surge in tech startups and investment. In fact, recent data shows that more than half of new U.S. tech jobs created in the past 2 years were outside California. Venture capital used to be concentrated in the Bay Area. Now funds are flowing into the Southeast, the Midwest, and the Southwest, regions once written off as flyover country. And the companies making those moves aren't just chasing cheaper real estate. They're chasing something deeper: sustainability, access, and diversification. Take Austin, Texas. Once a quirky music city, it's now home to Tesla's Gigafactory, Oracle's headquarters, and a fast-growing AI ecosystem. Miami has become a fintech magnet, attracting blockchain startups, cybersecurity firms, and Latin America-facing tech companies. Nashville is becoming a hub for health tech. Pittsburgh, robotics and autonomous vehicles. Phoenix, semiconductors and chip fabrication. These cities aren't competing with Silicon Valley on culture. They're competing on infrastructure and industry alignment. Why? Because the next wave of the U.S. tech boom isn't just about social media apps or digital ads. It's about hard tech, chips, clean energy, defense, AI infrastructure, and manufacturing. And those fields need space, power, and policy support, things California is struggling to provide. Let's talk numbers. California's commercial electricity costs are roughly 70% higher than the national average. Office space in San Jose still ranks among the most expensive in the country, and after years of housing shortages and rising taxes, even high-earning engineers are priced out of living near where they work. Meanwhile, cities like Austin and Phoenix are offering generous tax breaks, energy incentives, and access to new industrial parks designed for AI data centers, EV factories, and chip fabs. That's why giants like Intel, TSMC, and Samsung are all building multi-billion-dollar plants across Arizona, Ohio, and Texas, not San Jose. In other words, the geography of innovation is shifting from code to concrete. It's not just about where software is written, it's about where hardware is built, where AI is trained, and where next-generation industries are physically taking shape. And that brings us to another major force behind this decentralization: policy. The U.S. government is now actively steering the tech economy away from Silicon Valley's center of gravity. The CHIPS and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, and other industrial policies are pouring federal money into regional tech hubs across the country. In September, the Commerce Department formally designated a dozen new tech hubs, from the Great Lakes to the Gulf Coast, each focused on areas like quantum computing, clean manufacturing, biotech, and AI. This is deliberate. Washington wants to spread innovation beyond the coasts, to create jobs in more states, reduce supply chain risks, and keep America competitive globally. In many ways, this is the most significant geographic rebalancing of innovation in U.S. history. But the story isn't just about policy and cost. It's also about culture and mindset. For years, Silicon Valley's model was built on disruption for disruption's sake. Move fast and break things. But after 2 decades of tech scandals, data breaches, and social backlash, that attitude is losing its edge. In newer tech regions, you'll hear a different tone, more grounded, more mission-driven, more connected to traditional industries. A robotics startup in Pittsburgh partners with manufacturing plants. A climate tech firm in North Carolina works with agriculture companies. An AI lab in Ohio collaborates with universities and logistics hubs. This new tech boom isn't just building apps, it's blending technology with the real economy. And that's the real reason it's breaking away from Silicon Valley. Because innovation today isn't confined to software or venture capital. It's happening wherever tech meets industry, wherever code meets carbon or chips meet concrete. Now, to be clear, Silicon Valley isn't dead. Far from it. It's still home to some of the world's most valuable companies and the deepest pools of capital on Earth. But it's no longer the only place where the future is being built. If the 2000s belonged to California, the 2000s belong to America itself. A decentralized web of innovation nodes connected by cloud infrastructure, AI, and digital collaboration. It's a new kind of map, one where innovation looks less like a cluster and more like a network. So, is the US tech boom breaking away from Silicon Valley? Absolutely. But it's not breaking down, it's breaking open. Innovation isn't escaping California, it's expanding beyond it, diffusing across the country and weaving into industries that make up the real backbone of the American economy. From Austin's data centers to Ohio's chip fabs, from Miami's fintech startups to Colorado's AI labs, a new ecosystem is taking shape, broader, more inclusive, and less centralized than ever before. And when future historians look back at this era, they may not talk about one valley that built the digital world. They'll talk about the moment when the entire nation became Silicon Valley.